Welcome back to Channel Divinity. Unfortunately, we have had to lose two of our players who were here last time, Brandon and Cassandra, due to scheduling issues. They've had to take a step back from the campaign, which is absolutely fine. We're grateful for everything they've done for us, but from here on, they're taking a step back and may show up as guest characters here and there. But we get to welcome Mike, who will be showing up later on in the session. And not only that, but next time we play, we'll be adding two more players, Mary Kate and Dylan Abney. And once all five of them are here, we have a nice stable cast. With that being said, we didn't want to miss our regular upload of every 2 weeks, so we decided to release this slightly shorter wrap up to the last session to help find a reason for our characters to move forward in the direction they are. So this will be a little shorter, probably about 2.5 hours as it goes. And, yeah, welcome back to Channel Divinity.
Yeah.
Last we left off. Woo! Last we left off.
Regicide.
Not a Shakespeare.
A dead king.
Yes. Last we left off, the party had arrived at the capital of the Braccion Empire. And the four of you had to, you trolled the streets, selected a place to stay, you parlayed with some of the local officials, made some contracts, went to watch the king's coronation, but just before you arrived, ended up tagging up with the Blue Hoods, a local faction of rogues, known Robin Hood-esque to be friendly to the people, not necessarily honorable, but they do not kill. They've not harmed people unless necessary, and they've never taken a life. That being said, they have particular interest in making sure that the King Leorian is as honorable as he says he is, and does want to take the throne for the reasons he gives. That being said, the four of you crept your way up into a study, closed the door, and began to investigate, when all of a sudden, from around the corner, the guard carcass spotted a gaggle of guards, and King Leorian himself, as they approached, pushed Carcass into the room, and confronted the four of you. Upon seeing the scarf around Sabina's neck, the mark of the blue hood, he allowed his guards to leave, convinced that you meant him no harm. Not sure why the four of you were there. He began to investigate, but just as the conversation started to turn into something slightly more interesting, a figure, a dark-skinned man with no eyes, appeared just behind him. And as if by magical means, King Leorian, fell. Clutching his stomach, blood coming out of his mouth, some sort of necrotic magic. He falls to the ground, clutching himself, shaking, twitching, until completely still. The creature, the man, looks down, says something in a language that two of you cannot interpret, and vanishes. As the four of you went to investigate the body, and push him to the side, first, Carcass noticed a change in the room, and a spot where light once did not enter began to enter. Very low, flickering light. It's only there for a moment before it was gone again. There was a small pinhole between two of the bookcases. Solus approached the body, rolled it over, and found below him that King Leorian had taken the time in his last moments to scratch a few words into the floor. Find my brother. And the four of you were left alone in the study, comprised of two windows closed up by curtains, high up in a tower. A desk, a few cabinets, a couple bookcases, and a single door leading out to his group of guards. And a dead king.
Well, this is not good. So, I'm like in the last session, Carcass had like gone over to the body and was trying to investigate what sort of like magic he was that was inflicted on him. Ended up rolling a nat 20 on an Arcana check, so still am yet to reveal what that may be.
So as you investigate the body, you begin to, as a cleric, check for wounds, knowing the approximate position of this human behind the king. You begin to investigate his back and his lower back specifically, and you find a small black mark as you pull up his shirt, just to check underneath, indicative of necrotic damage. Specifically something that only somebody wise in the ways of healing arts may know how to do. Specifically a cleric or a paladin. Somebody with divine powers.
Okay. Interesting. Just gonna keep that to myself for now. So Carcass is gonna investigate the body, and then just check his pulse, and make sure that obviously he's not gonna feel a pulse. He's
Warm, but no blood.
Still warm, no blood. Okay.
Yeah, not pulsing.
Yeah.
Heart's completely stopped.
So Carcass is kind of just gonna put his hand on his chest and close his eyes and mutter a quick prayer to Eldath. Just muttering. And then he remembers that little flickering light between the bookshelves, and as he kind of looks up and notices that pinhole again. So he's going to stand up from the body, walk towards the bookcases, and kind of try to peer into the hole and see if he can see anything.
All right. Mike, can you hit the power button on that device next to you? Yes. No. Sorry, the background noise. So much better.
Whoa.
Yeah, welcome back.
What?
As you approach this hole, this is a stone wall with bricks put together and mortar. There are some banners hanging around, but this specifically seems to be just between two bookcases that are barely open, and then there's a hole right in the middle that looks like it was drilled in between three of the bricks. Brick, holes been drilled to the mortar, right at the corner. It's very, very small as you try to peer through and roll a perception check.
That is a 16.
16. It's hard to make out exactly what's going on there. Do you have dark vision?
No.
Do you have low light vision?
No, I don't think so.
It probably wouldn't have mattered anyways if you're looking from a bright room into a dark room, right?
Yeah, I don't
What
have
happens is I add to it. There's no more light coming in.
I understand.
But that being said, it takes a moment for your eyes to adjust, and you can't really tell what you're looking at. It's dark. It's pitch black in there. But there is a slight breeze kind of hitting your eye, drying it out. A cold breeze coming from somewhere else, and it smells moist.
Okay. So, wind blowing is like, takes a step back. Well, it looks like whatever just appeared behind Lorien. Looks like we were being watched, being followed. And, I think I've got some ideas I want to piece together, but for now, I think we need to get out of here.
So while he was investigating, I'm also kind of looking around the room for anything that might be of use before, I don't know, that could have been the cause of death or whatever. Kind of freaking out a little bit, just sitting there pondering. After a while, I see him looking under the bookcase. I come over. No, that's pretty much it. And that's when he would...
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Oh, baby. 18 plus 7.
Okay, so,
If that says anything.
you take the time to. You are nervous. You are distressed and unsure at the moment, but you you are able to collect yourself just enough to begin to take in the surroundings and the weight of the situation. The only living creatures that are the dead king. Just outside the door lies a group of guards. And here on the floor is a pile of blood with a king in the middle. There is no perceivable cause of death necessarily. I mean, obviously, whatever happened was this man that appeared behind him. And you observe Carcass lift his shirt for a moment, and as you check this somewhere spot, you find a small spot of discoloration, blackened skin. Not necessarily more like a bruise almost, but almost like a festering bruise. Blackened, purple, little red. I don't know if festering is the right word for that, but as you a blood bruise, as you begin to step away from that and look around, notice Carcass has also stepped up to a wall and began to peer through. Looks like a small hole. Just beside that, there was the two windows that are currently covered up by curtains. A small lamp that is lighting up the room, kind of letting light flicker throughout. It's a gas lamp sitting on his desk. And then the parchments that you guys had rolled out, the maps and the journal.
After assessing all the situation, I'm taking off my cloak of Elvenkind, and I'm giving it back to Bastion. I'm not going to need this.
All right.
And then I'm telling, okay, we need to grab as much information as we can. So grab all his scrolls right now. And then while everyone's doing that, in book that Samina was looking at earlier with the flower in it, because we're going to need all the help we can get, I'm going to peer into the hole that he was looking at.
So you're currently still looking in there, or you stepped away?
I've kind of stepped away from it, but I look over at Solace, and I think you may want to take a look at this.
Okay, let's make this quick.
You do have dark vision, correct? Oh, the dark vision. Okay, you peer in, and it is cobble. I mean, it is stone all the way around, and there's a staircase going down, and that's all you can really see. This hole is just it's like a straight path, and then a staircase going down. Completely dark. There's a stone on the wall where a torch could sit, but no torch sits within it. No signs of movement.
How thick? How big is this hole?
The peephole
Is enough for like an eye?
like the size of this pencil.
Okay.
Almost overlooked, and with no light in there, there's no reason to look into it. That being said, the room itself you're looking into is probably about 5 feet wide, 6 or 7 feet tall, so a little cramped, maybe more like 3 feet wide.
So Carcass has kind of stepped back to let Solace look through the hole, and what do we do here? Do we just leave this body here, and the guards knew that we were in here, or do we just try to confess our sins?
We're not confessing to anything, Carcass. At least, I don't know. I would hate to feel dishonest.
So Carcass kind of, as he's kind of grown accustomed to Samina and Bastion being sort of the front leaders of the group, like the party face or whatever. So he kind of looks towards Samina and Bastion for guidance, like your thoughts on this. I don't really I don't know what to do here.
I say, for one, I think we get the guard in here.
I've never seen a king assassinated.
You look towards Bastion. There's also, a slight sign of, concern at the present circumstances. But still collected in his usual self, not so broken. I am not sure if we should bring a group of gods into the room where we're the only living creatures, and their king is dead. Depending on how they react, we may not have time to explain ourselves.
Then I'll take the fall. I say, you guys go and I handle everything.
Go where?
Away, out of the city, into the sewers. I don't know. Maybe the Blue Hoods could help. We have to definitely tell them something.
Out the door.
Yes.
Solus, if there's anybody taking a fall, it's going to be me.
Caucus.
As you all are talking, Marcus, you hear the click of metal in the hallway of half plate. As someone starts to move towards the door.
They're approaching.
Knock on the oaken door. Is everything all right in there? Lord?
Yes, everything's alright in here. We're just, yeah.
Roll me a deception.
Are you trying to be I was gonna say, all I can think of is when you didn't change your voice.
Yeah.
That's Marcus.
Deception, you said?
Yeah.
7.
Most apt.
I'm just gonna open the door, bro.
Yeah, no,
I'm opening it.
he has to open it.
I guess we open it at the same time.
He looks at you strangely, and then, past you at the...
So is the door open at this point?
It's being open, you're standing.
Yeah, and I'm opening it.
Opening the door, he's looking at you, and then looks past you and sees a bloody mess.
I'm not smiling.
With the
I said I'm not smiling.
Kargis is standing by the body, and he's staring like a lost child at the guard at the door, and he's.
I'm gonna start to.
Actually, there's a problem here.
Yeah, we
a major problem.
as he opens the door, he sees it, pulls the sword. What have you done?
No.
And holds it to your throat. The rest of you, come here.
It wasn't us. We
Step
can.
back.
Okay.
And he keeps the sword to your throat, pushes you back. Restrain them. Somebody check and see if the king's all right.
He's not. He's dead.
Shut up.
He is dead.
He's passed.
Sir.
What do we do?
There is time.
As he turns and looks at another one of the guards who's decked out in full plate.
Nice.
Who seems to be he's wearing more ornamental armor. Probably in charge of this group.
Say, you look reasonable.
The sword is pressed to your throat, and as you begin to speak, it's like pushed harder. Silence.
So you don't want answers.
So you
Kargis steps back in the body.
You four are held at sword point and restrained as a few more of the guards come behind and grab your arms and put it behind you. Are you resisting?
No.
Okay. Samina and Bastion follow suit, taking their lead. And the four of you are restrained, and the man in charge kneels next to the king's body. Now this man, he's very, very large. Very broad shouldered, about as tall as Carcass. He's impossible to see his features or faces. He is decked out in complete
What if he's a Goliath?
male, but
Does he have a helmet on too? So, yeah.
he wields a single large greatsword, larger than any man would carry, and then his helmet is adorned with two horns that come up out and around.
This guy's evil. He's a tiefling. I don't think that's no north. Azeroth?
He kneels down, the clink of the armor, as he sets down his greatsword next to him, so he can completely reach the ground, and takes off a gauntlet to reveal a furry arm, and long, thick fingers, and he reaches down and puts two of them against the king's neck. No pulse.
I was trying to tell you.
And Kargis is restrained, and he's trying to make up for the situation. There's a black mark on his back. I think that's the source of the damage that was done to him. There was I can assure you this was not us. There was an image that appeared within this room, and Cargus kind of points over towards the peephole.
You can't.
Oh yeah, he nods over to it. There's a hole over there that we think.
Silence, says the guard holding you in the hand.
Bro, this carpet. I'm about to.
No. Let him speak. And continue.
This humanoid figure that appeared behind the king. We think it came from that hole over there. Somebody was watching us,
Two
spying
yellow
on
eyes
us.
look at you and then follow your gaze over. Stand. Check it out. And one of the guards, who was the one who was holding his sword to you, looks at the captain, but obeys him and steps back, moves over to the hole, and takes off his helmet, revealing a middle-aged human with long, dark hair. He's missing one of his ears.
And he had a furry hand, you said?
No, this is a different one. This
This
is
is-
the
yeah,
sword.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is
Stanton.
Stan. Yeah.
And he steps forward and peers into the hole. I can't see anything.
Yeah, we think whoever casted this, whatever, because I don't think a human could fit in a hole. Whatever this image was, I think whoever this caster was in this little room behind this hole, and immediately fled after the damage was done.
Say, do any of you have dark vision? Who can see in dark places? Because it looks like it's within the walls. I saw a staircase myself back there.
Lock down the castle. Don't let
Good,
anybody leave the city.
good insight.
Go out. Find Gran. Bring him here now. Tell him to bring the stone. And
The philosopher.
Stanton nods, leaves the room.
So I assume we're under arrest.
Escort them to the dungeon. I'll come back.
Wonderful. I love dark, damp places.
And the four of you are brought down, brought out of the room, led down, not towards the main hall, but the opposite direction.
Are we still at sword point? Like, are they?
You are at this point restrained, and you are being escorted by a guard of about eight men in half plate.
Or one of them, the guy who had the sword in my throat.
He is one of them, but he no longer has a sword to your throat.
Okay.
It's been sheathed but readied.
Okay. When the sword kind of leaves Cargus's throat, he kind of exhales.
And that was when Stanton moved and went and checked the whole. Okay.
So what do you guys think happened?
They don't respond.
No takers?
Cargus has his head
As
bowed
you
in shame.
Leave the room and make your way down the hallway. You make it. You turn a few corners and you're probably 700 feet away. But you hear this low bellow from far away. A cry of pain. It sounds like, but not injury, sadness. And then you are led down a stone staircase, down and down and down. You've passed ground level, underground, until you are led to this room that is it's a large iron banded door that a single key is produced from one of the guards that unlocks it, opens it, and inside there is there are a few desks where multiple men in chainmail are currently sitting, as well as some weapons are held nearby. An assortment of keys behind them, some bookshelves, and it smells like mold down here. It's wet, it's cold, and you were led past them. And who are these then? Some more troublemakers, says the one at the front desk. The one that's restraining you says, no. Assassins.
Look, I may be a troublemaker, but I'm no killer.
Silence. You'll be held in a cell until proven innocent.
Wonderful. Then how long should that take?
At this announcement, the rest of the guards, their demeanor drops. much more serious. Everything's gotten much more real. They stand up, they open the door behind them, and you're led into a line of cells. And there's one that you four are thrown into where you're manacled to the wall, and then the cell door is slammed and locked. Three of you post out outside of the cell and do not let them escape.
May I have a lawyer?
You stay and the rest leave. All is silent.
Hello.
You see this happen.
What?
As two of your previous compatriots, along with a tiefling and a dwarven female, are led through. You are not manacled.
Oh, okay.
There's probably more serious offenses.
You're probably like laying in a cot. Got like a blanket pulled over to keep the cold away.
No way.
What?
And you're probably reading a book too.
Oh, nice.
They didn't take many of your belongings as they couldn't. You don't carry weapons, do you?
Yeah, or I have a letter opener.
Right. They may have confiscated that.
Okay.
But everything else wasn't too big of a deal. So, yeah, you see your friends enter, get manacled up.
Asking for
Three men
lawyers.
post outside of the cell, which is the most serious you've seen down here for a while. And then the rest leave in a huff, in a hurry. The door slams.
We need representation!
Kargas still has his head bowed, just in shame, just...
Solus?
Who said that?
Ear perks up.
My word, that is Solus. And I kind of like lean forward. I don't want to get too close. I don't want to draw the guard's attention too much. But yeah, just kind of leaning forward and appearing. Are we like across the hall
You're
from
actually
each other?
adjacent. You're sharing a cell bar.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
you
yeah.
could,
So yeah, I'm like leaning over
you
to
could
the
almost
left.
reach in and poke Solus in the side, kind of thing.
My word, it's
Who's
me.
that old man?
It's Ander. I met you once long ago in Dunwich. There was something going on with a change.
The taxes?
Yes, the taxes and the change. Indeed.
Kargas' eyes widened.
Why?
Did you kill a king?
I did nothing of the sort. No, I'm a danger to society, apparently.
What?
Would you care to describe yourself?
Yes.
That's you.
My now less well-kept librarian's robes now have like varying like tatters and frays at other parts, and I have a rather wicked scar that runs almost to my temple underneath my left eye. Still bruised, but now mostly healed, and my hair is receding even a little bit further back. They let me keep my spectacles that I don't really need, but I think they make me look distinguished.
Nice.
So they let me keep my readers, and yes, I do have a book in my lap, probably all about intention. The purple one with like two faces talking.
Yes.
But now, yes, I am flabbergasted to find you guys here of all places.
Likewise.
If you don't mind me saying, why are you here?
These buffoons think we killed the king. Well, soon to be king. He didn't get to go through the coronation yet. He was a good man.
Was
Was a good man.
It's a lot to take in right now.
We're being framed.
Right.
You know how it is.
I'm sorry. Is it the tiefling that has the collar of the blue?
It's the dwarf.
That's Samina.
Samina had it hanging loosely off her neck. You do not recognize it.
Okay, gotcha. I see. Well, I've only been here a few weeks, but I'm sure once they clear that up, everything will be all right. And my eyes are telling a different story.
It's okay. You don't have to lie, and wait. So you say he's adjacent, right? So he's like to our side. Is that what you mean?
Or, yeah, he said I can poke you on my left.
Yeah,
so,
you can almost like reach through and poke him. Yeah.
I'm ticklish.
Um,
I could easily break out of here if I wanted to.
Samina turns her head. Solus, who is your friend?
So his name is the Great Ander.
please.
Great.
He is a librarian, which explains why in the world are you a menace. Anyways, we met him during the entire debacle, I might have mentioned it, where, I didn't come back with you guys after after Dunwich, so, they kind of court-ordered me to go collect some taxes for them that went missing, and this was one of our compatriots we met, along with that charming dragonborn.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Caucus met him too.
How are you so happy right now? Bastion says.
Well, it's the best I can do. Yeah, I mean, if we were just really depressed and thought we couldn't get out of this, then that would be really sad.
He's quite the optimist.
Perhaps it would be prudent to silence our mouths and think for a moment.
My arms are getting tired.
Mine too. These shackles are a little uncomfortable. Could you adjust them for me?
And I respond.
You know I can break out of here, right? If I'm power enough to kill a king, I can get out of these shackles. Just saying. But we're choosing to stay here because we didn't do it.
These kids have.
Andrew, help us out here, man.
I grab a
You
little
know
bit
us.
of dust, and I'm gonna use prestidigitation. I'm gonna write in dust and like clean a message on the floor in front of them, and it's gonna say, "Help each other." Pretty small, but hopefully, if you see some of the dust kicking up, you'll be able to see it.
So, with how much moisture is actually what happens is there's going to be, it kind of dries out the stone
Oh,
in
okay.
that shape, letting the dim torchlight stops reflecting off a piece of the stone, and your perception is high enough to observe this. So, as I believe your perception,
17.
it might take you a second, but you notice immediately that just kind of like out of nowhere, the moist stone in front of you starts to dry a little, and you could see an H form, then an E, then an L, then a P, and you kind of notice on the side of your eye that
Yeah, I'm probably miming it on my hand.
exactly he's kind of like tracing the letters on the on his book, and then you notice as a EACHOTHER show up on the ground.
What does that spell?
Caucus, you can read. I'm whispering this. Caucus, you can read.
I'm only joking.
Oh, I'm only joking.
Roll me a stealth.
Both of us? Or...
Whoever's talking,
Daddy.
but don't take disadvantage for armor.
6.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you've talked back as well. 'Cause she said, "What is that spell?" Right?
I'm whispering very loud.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh,
Caucus, you can read.
What did I say? I said.
You said, "What's that spell?"
What's that spell?
Did I?
Yeah, you did. That's why I even responded to you.
Oh, okay. Wait, so do I need to roll?
Which is totally fine. Yeah, I would like you to roll.
Okay. 18.
You notice that you're talking a little loud, but no reaction from the guards. Man, excuse me. I apologize. Dry throat.
It's the dust that Andrew kicked up.
Seriously, I'm swallowing it.
All that black mold in the air.
Yeah.
As you are sitting there talking, you suddenly hear movement outside the door. The door opens again, and the large horned guard steps back in. This time with a human, older in age, showing on his face, decked out in some black robes that are buttoned up, and then a tailcoat as well. So it's more like almost like a fitted suit kind of style, and then a cloak going on the back. He steps in. Are these them? It's them. It's the ones. Which one would you like to start with? Which of you knows the most?
Most of what?
I'll take that responsibility.
Grab the furbolg. The guard
Tell them all the
turns,
truth.
unlocks the,
Nothing but the truth, Caucus.
unlocks the gate, steps in, unlocks your manacles, and then grabs your arm and leads you out of the cage where you are once again restrained and then taken out of the room. So
Head down and train him again.
and leaving you on your own. So Carcass, you are led out of this room and into a separate chamber off to the side. And when you're brought in, it's a smaller room that is, it's much deeper. Like you have to go down a hallway, then around a corner, and then through 3 sets of doors they don't go to anywhere. It's like multiple doors.
Yeah.
And as you go through, you realize that every time you take a step, it's like echoes even more. Like it's the sound here. It's there's less and less and less.
Oh, there's less sound, so less acoustic.
Right. And so each footstep sounds like a bomb being dropped, kind of thing. No words are immediately said, but once you are brought into the main room of where this is leading, it's a small chamber with a single table in the center. There is a rack in the corner, as well as what looks like a coffin that is closed up in another. There's a chair in the very center of the room with straps on the arms and on the back of the back of the headrest. And
Cargill's face drops at the sight of this.
hopefully we won't need these, and lead you over to the table. And as you sit on the bench, this is the human. So as you're getting a closer look, he's got one green eye and one purple eye. His hair is sleek and black, and it's brought back into a ponytail. While his age shows he's probably not over 40. It seems to... He seems wise, yet still somewhat young. The cadence and stride shows authority. And he seems to be in a place of power among the people. My name is Grant. Do you know who I am?
I heard your name mentioned, but I don't know who you are.
What is your name?
Well, my name is Carcass.
That's my boy. I'd like you to hold something for me.
Okay.
And he pulls out a small gem. It is clear and opal. It is opal. It is a white with some dancing lights within it, and spherical but smushed. I forget exactly what that's called. It's not an ellipse, but it's it's a smushed sphere. It is handed to you, this disc.
Have Carcass hold, or is he still? Am I still restrained? Am I still restrained?
No.
Okay.
Not at this point in time.
Okay.
He just sat down.
Carcass holds out both his hands, just like asking for like alms or something.
It's laid in your hands, and this cooling sensation, this almost like numbing, goes through your body, and you suddenly feel very relaxed, very comfortable with what's going on here, very trusting, and like you would not, for life, you want to lie to these people.
Being drugged, bro.
What is your name?
My name is Carcass.
What is mine?
Gran.
I think.
What transpired in this study?
Well, our group we were talking to King Lorien. He was very trusting of us because, our dwarf, Samina, she had a handkerchief, the blue handkerchief, representing the Blue Hoods, and Lorien recognized this, and he gave us safe passage. He dismissed the guards, and we were talking about shit. What were we talking about? We were
Doesn't matter. What happened?
okay. Well, all of a sudden, mid-conversation, a image, or we think it is an image, but it was a humanoid figure, appeared in the room behind King Lorien and touched him, and suddenly he just became engulfed in this necrotic sort of magic. From my investigation, I think it's something from maybe a divine power, maybe from a cleric or a paladin level skill, and he fell to the ground and just died right there in front of us. We also saw later on in our investigation, we found a peephole in the bookshelves that we think, because we didn't see a humanoid figure enter the room, we think that somebody casted an image or some sort of illusion, I don't really know, and it casted it through that peephole and killed the king. And so I think whoever was there was watching us and spying on us and listened to our whole conversation.
You say that this was cleric magic.
Yes,
Makes you
it's
so sure.
well, as someone who is well versed in the healing properties of cleric magic, in my settlement, I am the spiritual leader. I advise all of my firbolgs on healing properties and healing rituals, and it's something that I've encountered before. I obviously don't know how to cast it, but it is something that I've encountered before. I've tried to heal it before, but to no avail.
What school would you say this spell comes from?
That is that is a tricky one, but I'm almost certain that it's necromancy.
Do you know where this cleric would have been trained? Under what?
Not that I know of. I mean, all of my healing spells and healing rituals I learned from my father, and I was taught by my god.
Pardon me, but is there any more information that we should know before we continue this investigation?
Well, I think I remember he was holding a pen, and he had this is out of this. Did Carcass see the message on the ground? Okay. Well, he had a pen in his hand, and he had, maybe before he died, he had scrawled out on the floorboards, "Find my brother."
Gran turns and looks at the large soldier in the corner, whose arms are crossed, and he's staring with his yellow eyes just straight into you. And when Gran turns to him, he looks at him and nods the clink of his armor. And Gran turns back. What does this mean?
I honestly could not tell you. King Lorien, a brother, I don't really meddle in these sort of affairs.
Where are you and your group from? What stake do you have in this coronation?
Well, I come from Perlin. It is a settlement in Thalia. We rest by a lake, sort of a hidden sanctuary, a grove. And I came upon my party members after a dark and bad omen led me out of my settlement to kind of discover what was happening in my settlement, or what was potentially going to happen. And I came across my party members, and we met in Lundor. I actually saw just an old friend who I had met in Dunwich, and I've just been traveling with them, trying to figure out this omen that I've kept seeing.
Where are your loyalties?
I have no loyalties.
Where is the elf's loyalties?
The elf?
The elf.
I honestly couldn't tell you either. He's sort of a chaotic sort.
What about the tiefling?
He is a demon. But
He's a demon.
I believe he is. I believe he is from. I believe his loyalties lie with Assyria.
And what of the dwarf?
The same sort.
And you were sent here to spy.
I am sent here to spy.
Your party.
He sounds confused. Like, I am.
I wouldn't really see it that way.
That's skirting around the question, yes or no? You were here to collect information.
Kargas is just shaking his head.
Now,
I'm
tell me,
telling the
okay,
truth.
Is does Carcass really believe the party was not sent here for information?
I don't know. Because I think like Kargas is kind of just going with the flow of things. He's kind of. I feel like he's sort of out of the know in terms of the bigger picture, what they're trying to like look for. Because I mean, I think right now he's just focused on figure out what Eldith is trying to tell him, pretty much.
You could probably take it as that we have two Simons. Braccia invited us, and then also the Assyrian Empire told us to go. So you could take it both ways, probably.
Yeah.
On how you want to see it.
And I mean, Carcass is going to be Carcass.
Yeah.
It's Carcass,
Yeah.
really believe that they're just here to visit.
Yeah, I think. So going back into character, well, I know that we came here to Essamont. We came to this coronation. Just in terms of why I am here, I've obviously told you, but my party members, I don't really know where their intentions lie. They've kind of kept me outside of those affairs.
It's become obvious to me that the four of you have no stake in the death of the king. However, I still don't feel like I'm getting the whole truth. But everybody has their secrets. If you truly are not responsible for the murder of the king, we have to find out who is. Can you describe the man or woman for me?
Well, he was, oddly enough, he had no eyes. They were just...
That's a big detail.
they were just pitch black. He seemed sort of a, I don't know, it's something I've never really seen before. Just the face of death is what I would call it.
Which color was his skin?
Good question.
Do you not remember?
No.
Okay, that's funny. It was like, I don't know.
I think I like this regular flesh color.
Flesh color.
You don't remember, do you?
No, not in the slightest. I was focused on the eyes.
Well, no eyes is hard to miss. Supposing this is true form, we'll be able to find him swiftly. That being said, Dalfarin, can you take him back to his cell? He nods. He's going to take you back to...
Kargas placed the stone back on the table.
And when it drops, the numbness kind of rushes back out of you. And you're brought back to this cold, dank cell. And you are led back. And as you all are kind of sitting there waiting, is there anything that you guys did in the time? Or you just kind of waiting?
We
Did you
definitely
see?
caught up.
I was about to say, did you see
I'm
the
like, "What's up,
message?
Andrew?"
Yeah, I guess you just caught me up on the fact that the king is dead. Like at first, because of how soulless is, Andrew thought that was a joke. No, you guys are actually in jail because the king is dead, and that like, this is my home country. That he was to be my king.
Right.
This is a big deal for me.
Right.
And yeah, like now Andrew's mind is racing because obviously I don't believe it was them, but for them to be implicated means that this could be something like what we went through in Dunwich, at least in my mind. And yes, I'm curious, but I don't pry too much into your allies, mainly because they said that you should be quiet, and I'm trying to respect their wishes with that. So I'd say probably a few sentences here and there, but most of what I say is just scrawled into the floor, just catching up with you. And then, but I am relieved to see Carcass coming back, because I was worried that would not be the case.
I
He
was
does
too.
come back, seemed unharmed, relatively calm, but
Head still bowed, staring at the ground.
is led back in by this large man. He leads Carcass back to the cell. The cell is opened, but you are not manacled back up. Instead, he comes over and unmanacles the three of you.
Whew.
Steps out of the cage and closes it. Takes off his helmet. And as it does, this metal lifts up and the horns stay as these
So kind of like
inside
this.
the helmet. Let the horns, not interrupt the motion of the helmet, revealing the face of a minotaur. A large minotaur with light tan skin, dark brown hair, and piercing yellow eyes. He's got scars all over. Battle-hardened. Not old, but not young either.
I would love to see and hear your stories.
As he takes off his helmet, he looks at you all. How lets it? The four of you weren't guilty.
Good job,
I
Carcass.
don't like your play in it all either. The connection with the Blue Hood has me worried. How long have you been with them?
Today.
Yeah, Andrew starts tuning in a little bit more now.
So recent acquaintances that could have used you to get you in, to get themselves in.
Yes. It didn't. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. It didn't seem like they meant any harm at first. They said they were concerned for the king and they wanted to make sure he was all right. Which, I don't know. I've heard they're a bunch of ruffians. They seemed okay with us. I mean,
It's uncharacteristic for them to be involved in a murder plot, especially for Lord. But I can't play it out. I can't take it out of the question.
truth be told, it looks like I don't want to speak ill of the king, but he did have potential relationships with the current leader of the Blue Hoods. We read through his journal.
Keep that to yourself. The four of you are free to go.
One more thing. May I ask what our friend is doing in here? He
Oh yeah.
points towards Ander.
Turns to look at him. What are you doing here?
Well, I got into a bit of a fight, and I was deemed a menace to myself and society when I had a brief lapse of sanity and began casting magic. Unprotected. And I hold up. Am I still wearing the limiter?
Were you wearing it at the time?
No, I was not.
Okay, so if you managed to take it off, you probably weren't able to put it back on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I'll recant then.
As Ender holds up his arm, it's the first time you've seen probably a spellcaster ever without the limiter on. He somehow managed to take off this shackle, and is bearing the any hair that would have grown there is gone, and the skin is pasty white.
Hmm.
Show
Well,
off your limiter.
I know not how I did it. Again, this was a brief lapse of sanity. I assure you, and all the guards here can attest to my mental acuity now, but I understand the caution. I'm a cautious man myself.
Well, before we let you go, we're gonna have to put that back on.
Of course, of course.
Yes, I would love to see him actually come with us, if you don't mind. So the sooner the better, right?
He
Could you
turns
please?
to look at one of the guards who's standing at the door. How much longer are you supposed to be in here? 2 days? We'll let out early. We need the cells anyways.
I appreciate it.
And go get a limiter.
Kind of reach my wrist out of the cell.
One of them leaves, and they come back. And in their hand is one of these silver rings, and it's opened up, and you can see like all of these weird arcane runes on the
Etchings.
inside. There's like almost like metal wiring. It looks like zigzagging around, and there is a gold band in the very center that connects it all. That everything is tied to. The end of the ring, it's kind of like just two halves that open up, and then there's like this long metal bar on both sides that lead out to a point. When you put your arm in, they push together, pushing those bars in, and once they connect, there's a resounding and you find it once again shapes to your wrist, and you feel once again that flow, that free flow of arcane be limited, and you no longer feel in touch the weave as you did before.
Many thanks. I will say the news that you bring is terrible. I come from Falmore City myself.
Drosha.
Yes, Drosha. Did this happen recently?
The king?
Yes.
Well, I can't really. Yeah, probably about like 40 minutes ago.
Oh, well, could this not be a similar situation to Dunwich in that you were meant to take the fall for this?
This is something that's happened before.
Kind of, yeah. Very unlucky.
Perhaps
If you-
you shouldn't leave then. Stay in town. We may need your assistance again.
There's another note I want to mention. I've kind of waited for this moment for our group to kind of reconvene. Back in, and I'm not looking at the Minotaur, but I'm looking at the other party members. Back in Abiel, I remember there was a night where I heard footsteps outside my room in the tavern when we were sleeping one night. So, whatever this thing is that's following us, I think it's been following us for quite some time now.
So the stalker of yours is who killed Glory.
If we have one, yes.
I'm sorry, what was your name again? Or, well, I don't think I said.
Doffer and Glory Heart. I'm the Grand Master. The direct advisor to the king for all military forces.
Could you spell that first name?
Dafuran. Doffer.
Glory
Glory Heart.
Cart.
Yep. Dapper and Glory Heart. The Minotaur Grandmaster.
Well, if we come up with anything else, we will alert you immediately. But I think it has been quite a long day. I think we're going to go back to our tavern here in town and just kind of collect our thoughts, if you don't mind.
Do as you must. Where are you staying so we can summon you if needed?
The prancing unicorn.
Prancing Unicorn.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Well,
There we go.
takes a short note of that in a small like comically small compared to his hand. A notebook he pulls out of his hip pouch, and scrawls down in charcoal what you said. Puts it back. If I need you, that's where I'll contact you.
And just for clarity, the city is being shut down, so we will not have to fear the assailant escaping, possibly?
There is no in or out for the time being. We'll see how long that lasts. Hopefully we can make this a swift capture. Actually, about that, Bastion speaks up. I've got to leave. You do understand the gravity of the situation we're in right now? Yes, I do. But you must understand the gravity of my situation. I am an ambassador for Assyria and the Nine Hells. If I do not leave and report back soon, there will be war. I am an ambassador and a subsidiary of these two places. I am your relations. If you wish, I will not report back the death of the king just yet, as it will be common knowledge and it will not require my reporting. But I must return, or else there will be assumed treason. You may leave, but only you. I need the dwarf as well. Two of you, then.
They kind of are.
Have it your way. And he pulls out that charcoal notebook again, flips the page, scrawls down something, closes it, and then you see he closes his eyes, puts his finger to it, and there's a slight red glow, and it vanishes. And he hands them something with you can see a closed envelope with a rune on the front of the paper.
Well, I guess this is goodbye then, Bastion. Samina.
Good luck, says Bastion. He just turned.
I see him turn away, and Carcass goes up behind him and gives him a bear hug from behind.
Yes, I'll miss you too.
I'll miss you, big devil.
Head back to Assyria when you get a chance. I'll be waiting for you.
And then I release my grasp and go to hug Samina or whatever. She's definitely considerably shorter than me.
Stay safe, you three. 2, 3. Nice to meet you, Ander.
I say safe travels in Infernal.
Sebastian bows his head, looks at you quizzically, but doesn't ask any more of it. Samina, a little confused, but
What did you just say?
He's like, huh?
you do a nice hearty embrace before she too heads out. Two of them leave up the staircase, leaving just you three. Well, it's been a long day and I have work to get to. Three of you are dismissed. Do your thing. And Daphron also turns and leaves. But don't sit down here long, they'll toss you back in the cell.
I'd like to see them try.
Roll it.
19 plus 6, so they...
If you don't mind, they had a room as well.
Well, there's 2 free rooms open right now, if that means anything.
Indeed. I didn't pack all of my belongings. I have what I need, of course, but I did not bring enough coin to afford the city's expenses.
Well, as weird as it seems, we have some coin from Assyria to help us out here.
Ah, I see. I won't be a bother. Just a room, maybe a meal.
Well, we have already the room for you, so don't worry about that. And the meal's on us, right, Carcass?
Yes. I don't have a lot of gold to spare, but
I'm just like slowly coming to the realization that Samina had all the gold.
he's bullshitting me the other
Yeah,
night.
exactly.
I must say, it is good to see you two gentlemen. It's
been quite a while.
It's been a while, and if I'm honest, this has been one hell of a month for me. Things have mostly been going well until the incident happened, and now I'm kind of lost with myself. Have you ever felt that way?
Yes, actually. About 60-something years ago.
It's quite a while.
It could just be old age, but yes, I do think it's good to see friends.
I say we walk and talk as I grab both your arms.
The three of you make your way out, and as you're stepping out, you're handed back your letter opener, untouched.
Blood everywhere.
Is it bloody?
No, because I was casting magic more.
Just curious. Random spell slots. Resort.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna keep casting guts over and again.
Right.
And you never know, that guts could probably kick up pretty strong if you're not limited.
Well, the main thing is if like someone's on a cliff face, you can kick them off the
You're
cliff
pushing
face.
people off a cliff. Yeah. Okay, well that's cool.
I'm gonna have to ask you more about this incident. You push me more cliffs. I don't know.
I didn't think you had any aggressive spells.
I do not. And what makes me all the more dangerous that it happened.
Yeah. It was just the wind that took him off the cliff. I don't
Well, hold person. You could hold someone underwater.
know. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Alright, and we're gonna go ahead and take our break there.
Okay.
Discussing torture methods. Yeah, what did they do to you, Carcass?
Let's
Okay.
And we're back. Welcome back. Last left off, the party had just gotten freed from the jail. Hopefully you're caught up because you've been here the whole time, but if not, it's on YouTube in 3 or so days. But in the meantime, let's pick up where we left off. So the 3 of you are on your way up and out of the castle.
Into the prancing unicorn.
Not yet.
So,
Coming out of the castle.
Solus, how have these past years treated you? It's been, what, 3, 4 maybe?
It's been probably 3-ish, maybe a little over. It's been interesting, hasn't it, Caucus? I mean,
I'd say so, yeah.
well, I mean, of course, the political war and everything going on has been happening, and it's been affecting some things here and there. I've been doing lots of studying and figuring out more and more just about the material plane itself and how it works and just applications in general. So that's been really fun. I've been traveling along with the good Sir Bastion and Samina, carrying out some, I guess you could say, the will of Assyria here and there. You know how it is, how we got conscripted that one time.
Yes, of course.
I mean, I guess more as of recently I've been doing it for more the sake that I just been really like traveling with Bastion and Samina. I could care less about the Assyria and its goals, but I don't know, helping them out made me feel good. And typically I would travel alone, but ever since meeting Caucus and them, it's been a journey and I've been able to continue my research, so I've been taking advantage of it, per se. But now it's very interesting, and things have definitely taken a change, especially
Considerably.
considerably getting framed for murder of a king now. That was not on the to-do list. Which also begs the question now, with Bastion and Samina going. I mean, I don't know how this journey will look towards for the future, but one can dream.
As you all make your way out of the castle, you go
Casually
out,
talking about the death of the king.
out of the staircase, down the hallway.
Is this place empty? I'm just curious. Like, has it been cleared
these
out?
halls are. I mean, they've been empty.
Okay,
They were
okay.
empty when you were here.
Okay,
too.
okay.
And you're coming back
And the guards
towards,
probably know
the
that.
crowded area. You step out on the terrace, getting ready to head down the staircase, down to the crowd.
The one that we
There's
snuck on.
pale purple moonlight reflecting off of the smaller of the 2 moons, Illyria. And it is kind of making the stonework sparkle in a special way. Whatever it's created with it, it reflects the light very well. You step out into the chill night air, moon high, and stars out. It's pandemonium. The people are going crazy. There is rioting in the streets. I mean, there's people chanting for Lorien to show himself. It's at least at this point an hour past when he was supposed to give his coronation speech, and nothing's happened, and they're all still waiting. There's murmuring amongst the people up front and then in the back where the common folk were allowed to sit in. There are guards actively suppressing multiple people who are giving them trouble. And yeah, it's chaos.
Well,
Ender kind of clams up. I know you said we're holding your arms. I actually grip your arm
Yeah.
tightly, upon both seeing the daylight and then seeing the situation that we're in.
I kind of,
Caucus, you're big.
yeah, Cargus kind of, sort of like a big brother type way. He kind of, he gets in between you all and gets his arms around your shoulders, and I think it's best we make ourselves scarce. Try to keep our heads low, and he flips his hood back up to kind of hide his form. He's tall as shit, but hide something. And he starts to kind of lead the Solus and Ander through the crowd. They trying to get back to the prancing unicorn.
Attention is there isn't much on you as you make your way slowly through the crowd. You're able to kind of push through some of the groups. The guards aren't paying you much mind as you're leading away, and the people aren't too interested as they're looking for the king.
Yeah.
As you're getting ready to leave the large area in this keep that is protecting the castle, you hear a familiar voice boom from the top terrace. quiet as you look over your shoulder. It is
Dr. Are you
Doffer and Gloryheart. He stands above the large crowd and looks down at them. Silence! I need your silence for a moment. You're gonna stay and listen to you guys walking out.
Yeah, I'm turning around.
Yeah. Still kind of holding
people-
Solus and Ander in a
It's finally seeing somebody up on the balcony. Calm down. Still murmuring, still whispering, still excited. Today we have been betrayed. By the empire that once called us their own. Assyria. So once again sent an assassin. A man with no eyes. It's come to our home. And he's killed Lorien Ember. And with that there's yelling, there's screaming, disbelief. After like a momentary silence, everybody's just going nuts over this. There's people, there's women crying, screaming, God help us. They'll be at our door any day. It's all lost. Everybody's just thrown into a fit of panic. After a moment, Dafferin speaks up again, his voice booming magically, being enhanced somehow. Once again, silence. That's not all I had to say. Remembering, it quiets down some, but it's not completely silent, He speaks over the noise. His death is not just tragic. It's a call. It shows the true colors of the Assyrian Empire and those that we are here to stand against. Do not use it as a reason to dismay, but a reason to unite, to bring our forces together, and to attack that which attacked us. We march for Assyria. Tonight we declare war. Our forces unite. And we bring the death that they brought to us to their doorstep. And we reclaim this capital and this country for Braccia and for Assyria. Unite together. For Braccia! And these words get to the people. They listen. They quiet down. And when he yells for Braccia, there is soft murmurs and people start slowly chanting, for Braccia. For Braccia. For Braccia. And then people start to chant it and chant it and chant it until it's one unified voice, overpowering the noise, overpowering the night, bringing light to the streets, almost bringing you to your knees with the amount of power and emotion and force behind these words. The people are united against Assyria.
You didn't mention Assyria was the killer, right? Where are they pulling this information from? This is war. This is people against people.
Cargus has a worried expression on his face.
I pull out a slightly spoiled egg, smell that it's bad, and cast mage armor on myself, and I'm gonna stink like rotten eggs for a while.
Okay.
Oh, God. Did someone rip?
People. If there's a little more going on at this point, obviously people are getting excited. There's this chanting, and you hear over top of it. If you wish to enlist and join our forces, come to the front now.
Oh my God.
And people are going forward, tons. Some already carrying some forms of weapons with them, and before long, people are leaving the square, carrying shields or capes or cloaks, wielding the insignia of the Braccion Empire, wielding that I believe it was a griffin with the sword in the ground, the broken sword, signifying the fall of the empire and the rise of a new one.
I guess I'm still holding on to Ander and Solus, and uh, the worried expression on Carcass's face, he kind of, as people are moving forward, takes solace and Andrew tries to, pull them back and try to get lost, like within the crowd and just like phasing through the group.
We reconvene at the inn.
Yeah, and we can try to continue to get towards back the end to the tavern to.
There are all sorts of marches around the streets. People, going around and handing out flyers and trying to enlist more people, just torch mobs walking around. Not with any particular to direct their fury, as everybody here is, as far as I know, loyal to the Braccion Empire.
Yeah.
As far as I know. So are you. None of you are flying the colors of Assyria. In fact, you're probably flying the colors of Droja, if anything, with that librarian's robe, which is an ally. And there's, it's exciting. Everybody's happy. They're cheering. It's finally we're fighting back. People are just all for it. The entire city is alive and excited, and it's almost if it's like it's the Festivus.
Like a group intoxication, just like the atmosphere is putting everyone in the same mood.
It is not. There's going to be no sleeping tonight in these streets.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep leading the party towards the tavern, trying to keep our heads down and maybe faint being joyous or whatever, like for Bracky or whatever, like okay. But yeah, we keep making our way towards the tavern.
Okay.
Carcass, is what he said a lie?
What do you mean?
The assassin.
There was no proof. There was no proof that it was Assyria. As far as we know, we're the only people from Assyria here.
I think you may have said some things that may not have been truthful.
What did you say, Carcass?
We'll talk about it at the tavern.
Three of you do eventually make yourself back to the Prince Unicorn, where there is, a party going on. People in the lobby having drinks. Even though there's no bar here, they've just migrated this way out of their rooms to celebrate out front. And there is much excitement in the streets on the way there as well. And you do make it up to your room, and you make it up into your individual bedrooms, and are you all going to the same place? You separating? What's going on?
I think I'm gonna lead them into my room to kind of talk about what just happened. So we go into my room, and Cargus goes and sits on the bed and looking a little spooked and worried. Almost in his face, you can kind of see regret for essentially what he's done. With his head bowed, he's kind of just staring at the floor.
Carcass, you need to tell me right now what you said to them to make them even believe Assyria had anything to do with this.
And like at this point, he's got his hands clasped, but they're shaking.
White knuckle.
Yeah, they're like shaking as if just very nervous and, like as you said, white knuckled. I told them what happened.
Okay.
And they asked where our party's loyalties lie, and I said that you and I had no loyalties.
Okay.
And I said that Bastion and Samina lied with the Assyrian Empire. That's all I said of the Assyrian Empire.
Okay. Then it doesn't seem like it's too much your fault, because they let Bastion and Samina go. So that being said, where is he pulling that information from?
Was he who was to be king planning for peace with Assyria? Did you hear anything of that nature?
Not necessarily. They just wanted to secede. Um, to, I guess, catch you up in a smidgen. We were sent here for information gathering by Assyria. Yes, just to see what was going to take place, what was going on, in case there might have been word of war. But there wasn't. We did background checks on Lorien. We even went into his study, where we eventually did get caught. And we went through all his information. He was a good guy. He was the brother of the old High King. Lorien had contacts. I mean, he knew people. He never had the best health, but what he did know was information. And he just wanted the best for his people, which I can understand. Assyria has not been the best right now, currently under martial law.
Who gains the most from this war?
That's what I want to know.
This, what did you say it was? A vision, a shade of some sort?
Truth be told, the people who do have the most gain from the wars, from what I can see, is Braccia. If they win and take over, then it's not Assyria in charge of them. They have something to gain. Assyria, they haven't started war with anybody. They've just slowly seceded into themselves. Receded, not seceded.
Carcass, as this is happening, you begin to notice from your closed window, the lights outside are getting brighter, and the noises are getting louder. The people are, gathering outside. There's a large group, probably another one of those marches, just passing by, but the noises stay and the lights get brighter. And you start to slightly hear the sound of crackling fire.
Carcass is still kind of visibly shaken. He stands up from the bed, and is kind of concerned that the noise hasn't moved because he would have expected it to. He kind of goes over to the window and are we on the first or second floor? I can't remember.
Second, I believe, or it was higher because we went upstairs.
I think we're on the second floor, but
You were on the third.
third. Okay, so I kind of is my window. Oh, I don't think my window's open. I kind of slightly crack open my window and kind of look down to see
Do we smell smoke?
what's going on.
As you open the window, the building across the street is torched. It is just on fire, and you can hear, now as you get close to the window and maybe you've slightly opened it or whatever, you can hear the people, people yelling, "Down with the loyalists! Assyria's not welcome here!" And they are smashing the windows, burning the building. It looks like it was a general goods store. Probably home to some traders that travel around and bring their goods back.
At this point, I stop what I'm saying, look over at the window, see everything going on.
And it's a giant mob. People throwing rocks, lit torches in. There doesn't seem to be anybody inside at the moment. But the store, it's all but gone. This 2-story building the timbers are just aflame.
Oh my lord. This is what war does to people. Someone wanted this to happen, I guarantee it.
I really just hope I wasn't the cause of this.
Friend, I do not think that is true. I think whoever cast this image that killed the king, they are the person that gains the most from this. So either it's someone in Braccia who will ascend to the throne or has something to gain from a war with Assyria, or perhaps someone else entirely that wants Assyria and Braccia to be at war with one another. Those are my best guesses from reading histories and the like, but I fear you're right. It probably is someone in Braccia that stands to gain from their independence.
And as Ander kind of consoles Carcass by saying that it's not entirely his fault, he kind of relaxes a little bit and stops the shaking. Well, whatever the matter is, I think as much as they don't want us to leave, I think things are gonna start getting out of hand here. I think it might be best for us to try to somehow get out of here. Because I don't think it's going to be safe staying here any longer.
Did anyone else here know that you were working for Assyria?
No.
I don't think
The only people,
did
the Blue Hoods. Yeah, the Blue Hoods.
What do you know of the Blue Hoods?
Well, they're a bunch of ruffians, but they seem to care about the place. They were the ones who wanted information as well on Lorien to make sure everything was going to go okay, I suppose. And so we made a little deal with them. We needed information, they needed information, so we worked together. That's the entire reason why Lorien didn't arrest us in the first place when we were going through his stuff, is because he saw Samina's blue handkerchief. That was the signal. Lorien had ties with the Blue Hood. I'm pretty sure. Pretty positive. We need to go to the Blue Hoods.
It sounds like we have a possible ally in the city who might be able to help us escape.
Correct. And I think they need to be well aware of the situation of exactly what happened as well, and what we found. And the poor lady herself, what's her face, who runs the Blue Hoods. I don't know her name, I don't think. I see Miklos.
yeah. I only remember Miklos. I forgot what her name was though. I feel like I want to say it started with an E, but I can't remember.
Whatever her face was, she needs to know exactly what happened to Lorien. She needs to know. And I know the place to go. The well. And this time I won't be going as a snake.
I suppose it's best to be truthful. If I did business with the Blue Hoods a long time ago, I did them a favor in exchange for a favor in turn. I don't think they'd have cause to remember me, but they are still upholding their end of the deal. Whatever happens, I cannot help against the Blue Hoods if they try to turn us in or something. What they are giving me is of the utmost importance.
Duly noted, Anda. I say we get out of this building ASAP. I don't want any riots at this building.
Yeah.
I'll kind of look at the fire. Is it like, where's the wind blowing?
Down here in the streets, it's not blowing too hard. It seems to be spreading up. It's not in danger of torching the nearby buildings yet.
Okay.
If it keeps up, there's a chance as it collapses. But nobody's coming to put it out. And even if they did, there's no way they can get through this mob.
Gotcha.
Especially as they're still adding more fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Tossing nearby carts and barrels and whatever in there to burn.
I think that is an apt observation, Solus. Perhaps we should leave.
And Kargas kind of shuts the window, and he had, when he got into the tavern, he had put his hood down, but he puts it back up, and all right, well, I guess we towards the well.
Towards the well.
All right, so the three of you start to head out, and as you come down and out into the street, you're immediately just hit with this flash of heat as this giant pyre building is just burning, and the people are cheering and drinking and throwing pieces of whatever they can find into it, kicking in the windows as they can, smashing doing whatever damage they can to this.
I called it. I knew you all were freaks.
And as you're passing, there are people, jaunting you, being like, "Death to Assyria! Death to Assyria!"
And I'm like, savages! Savages!
Are you saying that?
Yes.
Okay.
I say Hail Braccion.
Okay. What did you just say?
So you're a little out of control. Give me some space.
Are you a loyalist?
I'm a sane person is what I am. We don't need to be going burning down the city. Now I have places to be.
Get him! And
What?
the mob is going to start to turn on you, those that can hear, as you're calling them out. and jaunting them, they're going to turn on Solus.
Can I cast Warding Wind?
Yeah, if you like.
Okay. Centered on myself, unfortunately, but I think you're still within radius. A strong wind, 20 miles per hour, blows around me in a 10-foot radius, and it moves with me. It deafens me and other creatures in the area. It extinguishes unprotected flames, but it has to be torch-sized or smaller. The area is difficult terrain for creatures other than me, and ranged attacks have disadvantage.
Okay.
And I just kind of like motion because I know they can't hear me. I'm like,
I kind of, seeing that Solus is kind of getting out of hand, just yelling at the mob. I kind of grab him.
need them.
I grab him and.
What's the people who were like shoving, and all that? I'm like, just get off me, savage.
I kind of grab him and start to lead him back towards where we're supposed to go, which we're towards the well.
And I'm following your lead kind of, so because like I don't know where the well is, so I'm like letting you stay in front of me, but like making sure that the radius around us is enough to keep us safe.
When people are like, well, God.
Okay. So
Sorry, that is a hawk feather that I.
so the warding wind, it's like a downdraft kind of thing.
Mhm.
And it just blows out from around you,
Or is it kind of like a miniature?
or does it just prevents them from getting close to you?
It's more like a sphere of air that is constantly going around
Avatar.
me. So ranged attacks have disadvantage because like the wind will knock them off course.
Okay.
Torches or rocks thrown.
Right, it's difficult terrain, you said?
Yes.
So you're staying out of range of them so they don't get difficult terrain.
We're in the range, right? Beside.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
So it'll have their speed as well.
Yes, it will have your speed as well.
Okay.
So if they stay in front of you, that's not the case. But
Yeah,
if
that's
they're-
why it might be better for you guys to lead, and then I'm the buffer between us.
I
Okay,
got stuff
so
too. Don't worry.
all of a sudden, this sphere of air pops up around Ander, and it kind of pushes you two back a little ways, as well as the mob, who are open-eyed, surprised, but this seems to they've interpreted it as an act of aggression. And with that, they are death to the loyalists, and they pitchforks and torches and
I mouth because they can't read. I'm from Droja.
they cannot will not pay no
Spelling in
mind.
the air, Droja.
And so the three of you start to make your way down this street with an angry mob literally chasing you.
In
Now,
tow.
I'm guessing you're moving full speed.
Yes.
Okay, because the thing is, if it's difficult terrain, even if they go full speed, they won't catch up. As it's 60 feet. Now, how far is the range? 5 or 10 feet?
It's a 10-foot radius, so
Okay,
10 feet
cool.
in front and 10 feet behind.
Pretty. So that means they'd have to get within 5 feet to be able to attack you, which they are very intent on doing at this point in time. A few torches will be thrown, but they attack with disadvantage, and even if they hit, it's 1d4, natural 20 and a 15. That hits.
The nat 20 does.
Well, it's a disadvantage of the 15.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I have, I popped mage
Yeah.
armor, so I've got 16.
Right. So there's this sudden spiral of fire fills into your spheres. You just see fire flip around, followed by a torch stick that's now been blown out, and flies harmlessly off to the side and smacks against a wall. As the three of you continue on, so you guys are leading your way to. Do either of you have the perfect memory, feat that lets you know exactly where you are at all times? If not, I'm gonna have you roll to try to get through this crowd and figure out exactly where you are.
I
'Cause
do
it's
not have that.
pandemonium out here.
Yeah.
I know we had to go to the park, so we're just heading to the park, and we have walked from
You've
the
been there one time, yes.
Yeah, we have walked from the prancing unicorn to the park, so
Right.
I know how to get to the park at least. So we can get to the park. I know we can get to the well.
Yes, but you are instead of a street festival, it is now a raving mob pushing back and forth, throwing torches, attacking
Plus, like,
pitchforks.
probably there's been certain roads and alleyways that have been blocked by
Yeah,
the,
no, you're definitely
by the mob.
avoiding larger crowds and
Yeah.
trying to evade your
Aggressors.
aggressors.
We're trying to navigate through these tiny little alleyways.
So I would like you two who are leading to roll me a wait a second.
Yeah, and our mouths. Are we there yet?
I guess it wouldn't be survival. because that's Frozen Wastelands.
Could be like knowledge history.
Right, I just don't see that in this. Oh, there it is. There it is.
So you're wanting to see if we can remember how to get there, or just navigate through everywhere?
Well, both.
Like how to navigate a town.
So roll me a history.
History.
Okay. Remember.
16.
16.
Yep.
Okay, what about you, Hunter?
6.
So, Solus, you're just not quite sure as you have to hit these roadblocks and take these turns that you weren't, expecting.
Well,
There are some unfamiliar landmarks hitting you.
well, then again, I am holding Solus.
Right.
Like,
I'm just saying he's unfamiliar.
Oh, okay.
He's not able to guide you
Alright.
guys. He, as you're going the different ways, it's becoming less and less sure of
Yeah.
where you are at this point in time. However, Carcass, you've spent a little more time paying attention to what's around with the high perception, and you are able to recognize some of these landmarks even from a distance, and use them to guide Solus and Ander down towards the park, where you eventually do find the well. At this point, you've lost the mob for the most part. How long does that warding wind last?
10 minutes. That's why I was going to drop it whenever I don't want to draw and do 10 minutes.
Right. So you probably at this point have either dropped it willingly or by timing. But three of you make it to this park, which is relatively quiet. Not much.
The mob hasn't touched it yet. I guess.
Right. It's further out from the city center.
And then I look towards Andrew and point towards the well, like by the park, or whatever. We gotta go. So, leading Solus towards the well, quickly, and kind of. I basically I go to the well and I pick up Solus and I just drop him in the well.
Okay.
My eyes kind of
So
gauge
you
that.
fall and you hit the water, and you're now in this cylinder, 5-foot cylinder of water.
Caucus. There's a panel I have to walk into.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean it.
I'm kind of worriedly looking around, seeing if anyone saw that.
How far is it till the wall above me or whatever?
So the panel itself, the one the guy crawled out of, it's probably about 15 feet above you. You dropped about 30.
Yep. Kirk is panicking at this point,
Oh,
so
yeah,
he's just I don't know what to do.
The bucket's up at the top of the well.
I guess
I'm going to.
as this is happening, I see are you still approaching the well?
Yes, I'm still coming in.
You're
Now
next.
you can hear me. I don't have a sphere of air
Okay,
anymore.
and I'm kind of motioning you towards the well. When you get close, I look down in the well and then I'm like, oh yeah, there's a panel. Here, get on the bucket. There's a panel we're gonna have to go through to. I didn't mean to drop on my.
I kind of tentatively grab onto the rope and make sure it's a sturdy rope.
And I grab the winch and start trying to get the bucket down towards the bottom, or whatever.
So what are you doing, Solus? You just treading water?
How tall is it to the wall starts? Am I in a cavern or is the wall just all the way?
You're still in the cylinder. It definitely goes down deeper. You can't see the bottom.
Okay, so I can grab onto a wall.
Yeah, you are within the 5 feet area.
Okay, then can I just put my back up against it and start shimmying up?
Yeah, roll me a acrobatics.
We'll also
I'm not. Why do I
whisper.
use this dice?
I can't see in darkness, Solus. I hope I don't hit you.
What'd you get?
6.
Okay, so you make it part of the way up, but then the water between
too
you and the slick stone easily just slide back down and get submerged for a second, lose yourself underneath the dark water before you finally find the walls and paddle your way back up. You are slowly lowered down. Where are you stopping? Where are you stopping?
So the panel in the well isn't noticeable, right?
No, it's just like a stone.
Okay.
I'm the only one who saw him walk out of that
Solus.
panel too.
Solus.
Just let me get up a quick second, you oaf.
Well, I mean, if I can lower the bucket all the way down, you probably can maybe hop on. I don't know if it would carry your weight though.
So this time I realized the walls are slick. So I'm gonna shimmy my way up, casting shape water, making them dry. You know, taking the moisture off the walls and
Okay.
putting it back down below.
So
Just kind of collecting water as I'm going up.
okay. Okay, so here's how this is gonna work. Because you're getting rid of the water,
Mhm.
it would be advantage. But since it's a somatic action, you are physically having to do something while trying to climb a wall. It's going to be disadvantage. So it's going to equal back out to be the same thing. Because you're having to actively use your hands to cast these spells at the same time as trying to climb.
I just figured it'd be like wrist motion, all that. But I mean, yeah, sure.
I mean, it's a mix of motion while trying to use your entire body to climb a well. So it comes back to the same thing.
Yeah,
But
but I'm also not using my hands to climb the well. It's the back, you know, like the Emperor's New Groove, like the back to the legs on the wall. It's not that far apart, right? I can do that.
it's about 5 feet.
I mean, I'm like, I know I'm 6 foot, so maybe I wouldn't be able to split.
It'd probably be like a splits kind of thing.
I'm just gonna
you
say
could-
screw it.
you
I'm
can-
just gonna shapeshift into a spider.
In the water.
Oh yeah, that's the one way
In
you
the
kill
water.
a spider.
Yeah.
Are you gonna like climb part of the way up the wall and then shapeshift?
Why not?
Okay.
Why can't I just also stay on the ground and walk up? I mean, okay, look, I'm not gonna turn into a normal spider. Let me rephrase that. A giant wolf spider.
Solus.
What do you got to look up, buddy? Let's see. They are medium beast, still unaligned. 40-foot movement speed, climbing 40 feet.
Solus.
Spider climb.
Do you want me to just wheel the
Okay,
or
I
bring
looked up
the
something. We're all good.
bucket down?
Neat. All right, so you're gonna transform. And then you guys, you're just wheeling it all the way down, and you're riding the bucket down into the water.
Yes, I'm.
Okay.
Oh,
So your librarian robes slowly sink into what?
Well, I'm gonna stop the bucket before it touches the water. So.
Okay.
I can't
So
tell.
you're just gonna be
when
like
it's gonna touch the
hovering
water.
above.
Neither of you can see down this well.
Oh.
You don't have dark vision.
Okay. Well. Sorry.
Just keep going. You know, when my
stops.
robes start to splash, I'll probably call like, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, I'm at
You
the
just feel your
water.
robes get a little heavier as
And
they
then,
start to soak up some water.
I halt before I keep turning. What?
And as that happens, as your eyes start to slowly adjust, you can't really see, but you suddenly realize there's this giant spider right in front of you on the wall.
I'm climbing up right in front of you, buddy.
The giant wolf spider.
I freeze. I do not move. I do not make a sound.
You do not hear Ander.
I bring my right hand down to my letter opener.
So I'm guessing you're
Carefully.
still going then.
No. I halted when he said stop.
Unless
Did
don't
you
want me-
say that?
I did.
Okay, 'cause-
whenever my robe got wet.
Got you. Okay,
Yeah.
because that was like the same time that you saw the spider. And I don't know if you like froze and didn't say anything, so you just kept
Okay.
slowly going
No,
down.
I said that.
Okay.
And I'm just like,
I'm just holding like
Okay.
the crank right now. Looking
yeah, I'm
around.
climbing up, like, so I'm gonna like go past him and then turn around, look at him, keep going back up. I'm gonna get to the panel too, and I'm gonna try to force it if
Roll
I can.
me an athletics.
Mommy.
Or wait, yeah, athletics, yeah.
I'm not gonna use this die. I keep choosing this die. Get out of here.
And I'm also going to need you to roll me separately a perception.
Okay, so you said athletics and perception?
Yeah.
I assume this is gonna be this one. Not 20.
For athletics.
I just
awesome.
happened to hit the one.
I'm like, and then the perception?
11. 11.
So it's a little hard to tell exactly which panel it came out of, but with your wolf spider ability to just climb around and easily dig your spindly legs into these little cracks between the rocks, you eventually find one panel that does pop out. You pry it open, and inside is a small chamber, barely large enough for one medium humanoid, and that's it. It's a small smuggling port.
Does he see in the moonlight or something like that the panel just come out?
Yeah, it does swing open, and when it does, there's a small bag in the back left corner, and also a small a small little hole, like a square, dug out in the rock face on the inside as well.
Did you find the panel?
You can't speak.
Yeah, I know.
Hello?
I'm gonna climb on the roof and
All of a sudden, one long leg comes up over the side of the well, and then another, and this giant wolf spider comes crawling out at your.
It's a medium creature. Like, that's why I'm like, this is the biggest
Yeah,
spider
it's
I've ever
ridiculous.
seen.
And so he lets go of the crank, and you down into the water. Your robe's soaked.
Hello?
I'm physically backing away from the well.
As you come up over the side, you see the light of torches start to make its way down the alley towards the park.
Caucus, get in here right now.
Okay.
Oh.
I lift myself over the well and kind of just like hanging on, like trying to.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to
climb down like the rope.
Did you say it's a hole or?
Yeah, it's just a small hole where one of the bricks, like the bricks, is basically hollowed out.
Okay.
Did Ender make it in the panel?
You dropped him.
I'm alright.
I'm so sorry.
Splashing.
Yeah, you're having to tread water because your feet can't touch anything, and it's like slick, pretty smooth stone wall. There's some spots for finger holds, so you can like kind of hold
While
yourself.
I'm in the hole, I'm gonna investigate this bag and whatnot.
Okay. It's a small coin purse. Looks like the strings that would typically tie to something is cut, and inside are 5 gold, 1 platinum, and 3 silver.
So from where Ender is on the water, how far is he away from the hole?
So Anders 15 feet down.
Beneath it.
It was a 30-foot drop. It's about halfway down.
Okay.
And you're gonna need to move. There's people coming into the parkway, so we gotta hide in here at least.
You can fall on me. I've already prepared the ward.
The crowd is drawing closer, and you can start to see the flicker of torchlight above the well. You are unsure whether or not you were seen climbing into the well. Have you climbed in yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like shimming down like the rope or whatever.
As you grab the rope, there's a little more slack left, and you feel it. How much do you weigh?
288 pounds.
Okay, this rope.
And the rope, you hear this crack, and the rope falls with you down on top of Ander. So when you do this, is a 30-foot drop. So there is damage to be taken.
Okay.
So typically hitting water is not a big deal. Hitting somebody submerged in water, it's a little different. I believe it is a D6 every 10 feet after 20. Okay. So it's going to be for both of you, 4 damage apiece.
It eats 4 of my ward.
Right. So as
But that ward's hard to
you smack into him.
Did you say 4?
4. Okay. And you just feel like your leg like crumple for a second, kind of like knock up into your chest, and you smack into Ander, shoving you
Down.
about like 15 feet underneath the water. And you, I want you to roll me a investigation because you cannot see down here. You are deep underneath this dark water.
Got it.
So this is going to be by feel.
Oh, okay. 23.
Okay, so you cannot feel anything at first. There are no walls around you. You've probably entered the cavern where this water is coming from, and you cannot determine up from down, but at the last second you find the rope still slowly sinking downwards, and it helps you to kind of orient yourself. You start to swim upwards at least slightly, and you eventually find Carcass's paddling legs that you can use to climb yourself up, and at the last second,
Twice.
you're able to get up just as, because you didn't get a chance to grab your breath before you got smacked, because you didn't see Carcass falling.
I'm so sorry.
And now the two of you together are almost like too tight for this cylinder to let like go up and down.
Carcass, even if you win, you critically fail at stuff.
Okay, so
It's alright. You really didn't hurt me. It was the not catching my breath that was difficult.
and just after you fall, one of the pieces of the spindle above that held the rope falls as well, and splashes into the water next to you, and it drifts down past you on your way up.
Well,
So
Are you all right? I heard the cracking of the well. Did you try to climb
Are
down
you
that
wearing
rope?
half plate?
scale mill.
oh jeez.
Okay, I need you to roll me an athletics with disadvantage.
Sounds right.
It's medium armor.
Yes.
Okay, that's me.
And so when I rolled this, okay, I don't know,
That's not bad.
13.
You are able to grab onto the wall in time as you start to feel yourself just slowly sink. I mean, you're wearing metal.
Yeah.
And you're able to tread somewhat, but like you are actively fighting
yeah.
against the sinking forces of your armor.
Yeah. It is exhausting.
Yeah, absolutely, and it cannot be kept up.
Yeah.
As you grab onto the wall, it does help some, but even then, like it's
So we're going to need some help. Also, you were the spider.
Yes, that was me.
You need to let me know next time. Carcass is having some trouble swimming. If you could help us out.
I am panicking even more. I'm breathing very heavily.
there is noise above, and the sound of people drawing close by. You can see now the torchlight flickering out the top of the little cover of the well. You can see that the torches are closer to where it's like lighting up the underneath, above.
Okay, good. You do know Spare the Dying.
I don't like where this is going.
No. Oh gosh.
Okay.
Can we see, like, obviously we can't, like, see, but can we see, like, the light is getting brighter from up?
Yeah, no, it's drawing super close now. You can hear
Gotcha.
the footsteps on the ground above, on the gravel around the well.
I will try to get quieter as I realize that there are others around.
I'm still heavily breathing, just
Yeah.
in full panic mode, trying to keep myself up.
Marcus, calm down. Breathe slowly. Strong strokes. You're a strong boy. You're a very strong boy. And I'm going to Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild this, and I can freeze water within a 5-foot cube. So not on him. Okay,
Underneath it.
next to him, so he can at least grab onto it.
I kind of lower my breath, hearing Solstice's
Also,
calming
next
words.
to him is me.
What spell?
Shape water.
Oh yeah, he is next to me.
Shape water lets me instantaneously move or otherwise change the flow of water up to 5 feet. In any direction. It doesn't have enough force to cause damage. They'll cause the water to form simple shapes. You change the water's color opacity, and the last one says you can freeze the water provided that there are no creatures in it.
I'm in it. I'm in the water.
Yeah, I'm
And they're
also
taking
in the
up all
water.
of that water.
They're taking up all the
like
water.
they're together, like they're
Yeah.
pressed together. There's barely
Ah.
any water between them, and
I
it's a
understand.
5-foot cube. So it would be tough, and I think you have to see it. Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to do it underneath them either.
Never mind. Stop splashing! I can't freeze it. Oh my gosh. I don't even. Maybe I can. I don't know. 1 second.
Saul was just
I'm trying to,
frantically going through his character sheet.
Yeah,
trying to find
like,
something.
what can I do to
Yes,
save them?
spellless.
Hey, you hear that? You hear from above. Somebody in the well, and
I
jump in the well and pull them down.
so you're gonna jump and splash into the water on top of them.
Okay, slowly. I'm gonna.
Slow motion, just
Give me a second. I gotta find out what I
I'm
can.
casting minor illusion 30 feet up at the radius that I can, and I'm just gonna do I'm gonna do the Wilhelm scream again because I didn't think of anything beforehand. So this can continue for up to a minute, but I have a feeling it's gonna stop whenever someone comes crashing down on me again.
Oh goodness gracious.
Oh.
oh my god.
Oh my god. Let me check one thing then. If we're doing that, what is the range on that spell?
Minor illusion's range is 30 feet.
Okay.
It fills
And
a
if you
5
if you
foot-
leave that 30-foot range, does it stop?
No, it does not require concentration. Actually, so yeah, it could continue even if I
Okay.
get submerged.
Okay.
Well, I'll say so. It is still Wilhelm scream, so about 6 seconds worth of.
Okay. You could have a minute long with Helen Scream. I don't care.
I don't want them. I don't want them here for longer than they need to be.
So this is 30 feet up. So this is going to be the very top of the well, right at the entrance.
And it is a investigation check against my spell save DC, which is 14.
Okay.
Or to tell that it's fake.
Right. Well, they're going to be too distracted, probably by the fact that there's somebody in the well. But there is this loud, Wilhelm scream at the top. I'm not going to try to imitate that right now. At the top of the well, and it echoes down, almost like ear piercing, because you're in a stone chamber. All the way down. And you hear some shouts from above, like, what? What's going on? And then it's over. So at this point you've jumped, right? You've jumped out of the hatch down into the water on top of Carcass and Ander. And the three of you get submerged at least a moment as you land on top of them.
It is only a 15-foot fall, though?
It is only 15, so no damage.
Okay.
But it's enough to,
Jar you
push you
again.
down. I need you to roll me a strength saving throw. And just Jacob.
Is it disadvantage?
No.
Strength save, you said?
Yes.
18.
Let's just be pushed down. Okay. So your hand almost slips as you suddenly something else falls on top of you during this loud yell, and you almost allow yourself to slip down into the bottomless black water, but you're able to hold on, and the armor is not able to drag you under.
I'm going to,
get out of
when I
here.
reemerge,
So the two of you are gonna be fighting for space. It's only a 5-foot circle, not even a cube. So I mean, radius-wise or area-wise, this is smaller than a 5-foot cube, which can barely hold one medium creature. You can't even have a tiny medium in the same spot. They can only pass through, right?
Yeah, we are
I'll fix
cramped
this.
right now.
reemerge,
Yeah,
sorry buddy, and then I'm going
sputtering.
to slap him on
So
the
yeah,
back.
you are underwater still until whatever happens here.
I'm slapping him on the back, and I'm casting Bull Strength
Through the back.
You, I guess.
on you, so you can at least hold yourself up or swim without you drowning. So now your strength is going to be doubled, and your carrying capacity.
Okay.
Or at least your strength checks you're going to have advantage on. That's what I meant. And your carrying capacity is going to double. So, yeah.
I
So whatever your carrying capacity is, I think you can go
it's in
into.
an inventory.
It's usually like.
So
under
your carrying
encumbrance.
capacity is 450 pounds.
So now
it's
it's
going to be
900?
it's going to be 900. And your push, drag, or lift is going to be
1800.
1,800 pounds,
Okay.
which kind of begs the question: if he has a 900, oh, I don't know, 900.
Wait, where do you find? I see weight carry, but I'm not seeing like.
So you can click on your inventory.
And if you click on inventory and you click on the weight carried, you scroll the way up. There's an encumbrance. There's a carrying capacity and a push, drag, or lift.
Yours is 135,
Gotcha.
and your push drag lift's 270.
I can carry 120 pounds, or I can push, drag, or lift 240. So yeah, you're gonna be strong enough to hold all your stuff and swim comfortably.
To a point.
I was about
That
to
being
say,
said, I'm actually shapeshifting now into a frog. I can turn into
But during this time, a lot is happening.
Yeah.
Some heads peer over the top to look down at the chaos unfolding below. And at first they can't see, and so they drop a torch down. And you see it lighting up the way, and as you transform into a frog, it allows you to kind of start to come back up, and all of a sudden it smacks into the water next to you, and for a second your face is seen as shocked, like as the light kind of like it shows your face, and then it gets put out on the water, and smoke rises, filling your nostrils, making it a little hard to breathe in this contained area. There's somebody down there, and what? There's conversation going on above. Trying to figure it out. We need to get them out. And they start to move about themselves. What are you doing, Ander?
I was just trying to get back to the surface because, like I said, I know you mentioned I was underwater.
Right. Once again, almost drowning. As
Yeah.
Solus holds him down.
I'm a frog now.
You are a frog now, so you're probably on Anders' head.
Yeah.
As Ander comes back up.
Yeah, I really don't.
I forgot
know
I could turn
anything
into
that can
animals with
help
swimming
here.
speed now.
Who's down there?
Try to put my finger up to my lips for Carcass to see. I don't know if you can through the smoke.
He cannot. Well, with the torch that fell and the lights coming out dimly, you can see each other, but you can also be seen. Very obviously.
Gotcha. Just a couple of drunk friends. We've lost our way in the park.
Roll me a deception with advantage. I mean,
Or you said with disadvantage?
with advantage.
That makes sense what's going on. Yeah.
I mean,
It's gonna be a 5. With advantage.
Man,
Yeah, there's no bottles around.
we are great at deception. We are the greatest.
This is the crew that never was good with charisma.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
are you
Go ahead.
Braccion or loyalist?
I'm from Drosia.
You're not responding.
No.
Okay. Is there a frog down there?
Yes, a bass mouth frog. I'm like staring at him as much as I can.
Somebody get a rope. And you hear talking, and somebody's finally like, I got one, and you guys wait a while. They'll be back in a minute. Just hold on. And the head disappears. And there's, noises and the torchlight and everything down there, up above for a while. And as you wait, eventually, unless there's something you want to do in the meantime,
I'm jumping back into the water to see if there's any exit points that we can swim through.
onto the water.
I'm going into the water to see if there's any air pockets or bubbles, in a cavern or
What
something.
did you transform into?
Frog.
What kind? Just a frog?
Sorry, am I misunderstanding? The ledge that you pushed across doesn't have an exit. It's just like a little space in there.
Correct.
Gotcha.
That's
okay,
why,
I
yeah.
thought that was our.
I
Or
thought
avenue
it
out.
was, well, I never saw, I thought it was an entrance.
You do have
Well,
30 feet of
it's a
dark
hiding
vision.
hole.
It's underwater, or it's underground, like water, It's just a big old underground cavern that is completely submerged at the moment, and there's like a bit of a current under here. It seems like some water flows through from underground. If you're not careful, you get swept with it, but you're able to stay above it.
So that panel that he found, so it's not an entrance?
No.
It's just a smuggling port. And it is currently sitting wide open.
Oh yeah, I realized it didn't close.
I have taken the contents that was in it, so if that means anything.
Right. So the two of you wait, and then the man comes back over the side. We've got a rope for you. I've got another question before we pull you out. Who are you?
My name is Ander Brightwood. I'm a librarian at the city of Drosia. Recently pardoned by the kingdom here. You see, I'm an old man and I had a lapse of sanity.
Why is there a hole in the well?
Can I look up? He's referring to the ledge.
Yeah, like the hatch that's open.
Oh, well, certainly. I believe there's something my friend said about there was a place where they go to hide their illicit books, little tales of...
Whatever. And he starts to drop a rope.
I could give two craps about this. You're boring
Sorry.
me.
Whatever. He yells from 30 feet up, and a rope, a hempen rope, starts to be passed down, and is passed down to you.
I kind of look at Carcass.
I'm holding on, but I'm still struggling. The water just.
Oh yeah.
Have I found anything yet?
No, I mean it's
exit?
just you can keep going. There's more and more cavern, and there's offshoots and other tunnels. It's a big cavern system underground. It's filled with water, and there's water flowing through it.
So there is places to re-emerge your head?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
It seems to be going deeper. If you follow upstream, maybe, but it would require swimming upstream in a fast-moving underwater current.
Yeah,
That would be about rivaling your swim speed.
After a
Because you can only
moment
swim
of
20
this,
feet.
I know that there's no way I'm... Well, they don't know what
I guess
to
I'm
look
going
for.
back.
Okay. I want you to. No, you're good. Anyways, so who's going first between the two of you?
I think.
I think it should be you. I don't have the strength to pull us out.
Yeah.
Hurry up!
Yeah.
Just grab the rope. We'll get you both out.
Just say he's dead.
Cargus is kind of relieved that there's a escape, like an exit point. So he kind of.
I don't think they can grab us both, so I'd rather than get him first.
So I like let go of like the wall and try and grab onto the rope that they had dropped down. And do they feel like any sort of like increased weight on the rope, or whatever? Since I'm a heavy.
So, I
creature.
mean, you're saying you grab onto the rope, tugs a little bit,
Yeah.
and then, all right, start climbing, we'll pull a little bit. And you roll me in athletics as you're going to try to climb this.
You have advantage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because bull strength.
rope.
Mother, what the heck is that?
8.
Let's roll through sixes.
Okay, so you start to make it part of the way up the wall.
Gosh dang.
This is a fucking disaster. This is a cluster.
The well episode.
The well. Oh
You
well.
start to climb the
SMR
rope.
well.
You get about halfway up, and then you lose your footing, and you slip. You try to hold on, but you just get rope burn. It's 300, almost 400 with the scale mail of everything just starts to pull you back down, and your hands just burning. You can feel like blisters and bruises starting to.
Ow, 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 ow.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Ow.
if you're still holding on, you're gonna lose the skin on your hand.
Yeah.
Um,
I like.
and you
fall back in
you
the
fall
water.
plummeting back down into the water, all 400 pounds of you, and you are going to sink once again, a lot. So Frog, you're on your way back up. Suddenly, like this, just like a meteor hitting the water as Carcass starts to make his way back down into the water. And I'm going to need you to roll me an athletics and with regular, not advantage.
With advantage.
No, because he's
It's-
wearing full armor in underwater.
It's all strength. It's all strength.
Right,
checks.
exactly. So it's middle. He got disadvantage because of armor, advantage because of the buff, the bull strength.
And they cancel each other out.
Okay.
If you tried to swim while wearing a metal suit,
Did you say saving throw?
no, athletics.
4.
You are going down. You are sinking actively. You're going into the water, and I need you to. Okay, what is your what is your Constitution modifier?
2.
You can hold your breath for 3 minutes max.
Okay.
That's not something you should do all the time for fun.
Well.
Oh my fucking god.
Jesus.
Pardon my
You
French.
begin suffocating.
Oh my god.
You start to you continue to sink. I mean, what are you gonna do as you're sinking? And your carcass has not resurfaced, and you cannot see him. The frog, you see him sink past you, and he starts to try to struggle up, but he just keeps sinking. The rope isn't low enough for that, and he starts to be swept by the current as well as he gets lower. What is Carcass doing?
Carcass is sinking. He
Yes.
is going to. Carcass is gonna close his eyes.
Okay.
And he is going to go lifeless. And he is going to call to a higher power of Eldath to save me from this fucking water.
I need you to roll me a D100. You are level 4.
Yes.
You have to roll a 4 or lower, and Eldith will interact with you.
Like the
D100, so a 10 and a percentile together. If you get a 90 and a 4, you get 94.
Wait, so I
you
rolled-
have to get a number 4 or lower. You have a 4 in 100 chance for this to work.
Bruh.
which one's a D10?
No.
There's 2d10s. One has double.
It's the one that looks
numbers.
This
like
one?
it,
Oh, okay. So what do I have to get?
A
4 or lower. So 004 or lower.
You're not that high level of a cleric. I don't even think you're supposed to have this power. Wow, that was pretty close.
What did he get?
20.
Response. As you start to sink slowly into the water, you lay lifeless and you say a silent prayer in your head to Elistray, but there's no
No, Eldith.
Eldith. And there's sorry, I just
called
surprised
the
at
wrong
the current
god.
circumstances. As you are swept underground by the current of the underwater river.
I'm just sitting here as a frog mic. What the fuck?
Alright. So what are you doing, Solus, as you watch this happen? Carcass just goes limp.
Turn my Noah self because I can't cast spells as a frog, you idiot, and then I'm shaping water around his head to let him breathe for a couple seconds as I'm trying to push it, air pocket it, right?
Yes.
Question mark?
The only thing is, let me look at that real quick. It's gonna matter. Is it a first or the cantrip?
It's a cantrip.
Okay, so here's the thing. There's not necessarily oxygen just there as you push the water away. It's gonna be a vacuum, right?
It's true.
So he starts
Probably.
suffocating quicker when he tries to
Never
inhale.
mind. Jeez,
Goes
what
to take a deep breath.
I'm like trying to like move the water and push him. I'm like,
Oh my god! You don't have like a rope? Like that's the thing I have, you know,
you
like
think I'm gonna carry this man with my 8 strength?
no, I expect you to turn into like a bull or something.
Andrew, what?
Wild
Okay, wait.
shapes.
Let's just cut this side of the table. Andrew, what are you doing? You don't know any of this is happening. As far as you know,
I'm
he's just down
basically
there.
blind.
The rope is there.
I have a 50-foot rope. I will grab my 50 feet of rope and try to think of anything heavy enough I have to sink.
Bro, I'm swimming in him.
Yeah, I grab my bottle of ink, kind of like tie it around the head, and then I plop it down, and then I hand the rope to you, Solus, because I'm assuming you're stronger than me.
I'm under the water.
He's not there.
Oh, he's the
You have
frog.
no idea this is happening.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm under the
shit.
water. I've turned back into
all
my
I know
normal
is that
self.
Carcass is not
Not back up,
resurfaced,
no.
and it's been more than 6 seconds.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I tie the rope around the like head of this large inkwell, like shaped kind of like a small vase, and I plunk it down. And I'm just holding the rope, I guess, as it starts to sink down.
Connor, I'm swimming to him, and I'm gonna start donning his or doffing his armor, whatever it's called.
Dolphin.
Doffing. I'm gonna start taking off his armor, like, idiot, take off your armor.
God.
This ink is like all of my gold too, by the way, because for the amount of ink 1 ounce of ink is 10 gold,
Okay.
and I got
don't-
6 of them to make this.
I don't want to
bottle.
be this guy.
Oh my god.
Hemp rope floats.
It does.
It does.
Oh no.
Maybe this world has magical hemp rope, but it says both flaxen and synthetic hemp rope float on water,
It's a good thing you
making
spare
them
the
useful
dying.
for boating and other, which makes sense. When you go to a
I have,
marina,
like,
all the hemp
nothing
rope's
to help
floating, so you
me
can
here.
easily tie it off.
I don't have anything to help me.
But so the-
Not a
So it
single
needs
thing.
something to help it sink.
Yeah, that's why I tied the inkwell.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here
yeah,
like,
no. All 12 ounces of ink that I own in this.
yeah, it's gonna slowly sink.
Shit.
I
It is
am.
denser than water, but not by much.
Not.
I'm swimming to Carcass right now.
Okay. Into the current as Solus.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your con?
I'm gonna move.
+2.
Wait, I want this to
So
be
you
a
have 3 minutes
surprise
to
to me.
Okay.
long is
You do see the very end of a rope start to come out of the well. An inkwell tied to the end of it as it's barely it's almost just bobbing about 5 feet underneath the well. It's not really going anywhere. And also Carcass is just slowly he's going down and he's going this way. Now scale mail, you have scale mail, right?
Yes.
It's not placed. It doesn't take an hour to take on and put on or whatever, or put on and take off or whatever.
But it will take some time.
I think it only takes a turn. No. Medium armor takes. So it says it takes 1 minute for medium armor in general. Is it heavy armor or medium? I thought it was
medium.
heavy.
It's medium. That's what I've been saying. It's medium. Scale mail is medium.
And where'd you get 10 minutes from? Heavy? Okay,
Yeah,
that's on
it's,
for
yeah,
heavy.
it's
Okay.
medium. It says medium.
So it
armor.
would take a whole 60 seconds to get this armor off of him, which is possible. But you're also underwater. So it's not impossible, but you won't be actively swept by the current as you do 20 feet every turn away from the well. And you're just going to sit there and float. Okay.
Did you just accept your death in a well?
Oh my god. Yeah, it weighs freaking 45 pounds. So the two of you start to float away from the rope and the well. As it just slowly sinks, it starts to catch the current a little bit and starts to float a little after you, but it's not catching up near as fast. And you're going to start to take off his scale mail. Okay. Roll me a survival.
You're gonna die. 11.
Okay, so you are struggling. And these are some tight knots, and you're underwater trying to use just the force of yourself to pry this armor off of a completely complacent giant furbolg.
Okay, while I'm untying this, I'm slapping him upside the head like
Are
I'm
you saying
here.
idiot? Because that's a minute minus a minute.
Well, I think when he went, because like I had just like accepted that there was no one around me, like I was just completely just alone. But then I feel something touching me, and my eyes shoot open, and
I'm like looking at your chest, like sort of. I'm trying to untie it.
so is there a way for me to like assist in taking my armor
If
off
you want
with
to
him?
cut the straps, like literally cut it off of you, which you don't have a sharp weapon,
Primal savagery, baby.
do it.
Sorry, buddy, I'm
Yeah,
destroying
that's-
your armor.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So if you want to do that, you can.
So it'll take
I
you.
consent.
It'll take you about 10 seconds or so, primal savagery, and then cut through all of the bonds. But once he does, your scale mail sinks down
Gauntlets
below. You both are still floating out of this cavern and into a new one. So you're gonna have to swim against the current to get back into the old one. But it's not impossible. Your swim speed's 15 per round. It's half? If it's 10 or if it's 20 or less, you might not be able to swim against the current. The current is 20 feet.
So he cut off the coat of the armor and the leggings and the gauntlets. So it's pretty much all off. Like under the scale mail, I'm just wearing like a rag tunic and rag pants, pretty much.
I think.
Carcass has a swimming speed of 0.
What? What'd you say?
Carcass has a swimming speed of 0. Let me check and see if that's the case on everybody.
You can't swim, buddy. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so you're doing what with that?
I was just saying that the armor was like coming off as he cuts it or whatever. So the coat and the leggings and the gauntlets, so the armor come off my body, and I just have like a rag tunic and pants under it.
Okay. So yeah, Carcass is now. I mean, are you still? What about your backpack?
Give me a second. I'm gonna keep the backpack on.
Okay. So you have to doff it to get the rest of the armor off, and then put it back on.
Also, yeah.
The more you drop, the lower the DC. Basically, is what it's going to be.
So the armor's coming off. I have my backpack.
Mhm.
Grab my shield, unhook it, drop it.
Okay.
Mace on my hip, take it off, drop it.
Okay. That one just sinks.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's all I'm doing. I'm keeping the backpack though, which has like my holy symbol, herbalism kit, and mess kit, all that adventuring stuff.
Gotcha. So go ahead and drop this from your inventory. Like delete them from your inventory.
He has been. Goodbye.
And tell me what you dropped again.
I dropped my mace,
Shield, mace.
my shield, my scale mail.
That was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say also the crossbow, but I think it's in my backpack, so.
You went to take the time to shuffle through it.
Yeah.
Everything in there is soaked, by the way.
Yeah.
So the two of you are now scale mailless and mace and shieldless. Soulless, you're still wearing all your stuff?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. I'm just setting DCs based off of weight, and I can see what your guys' weight is and everything. So that being said,
I'm actually weighing more than he is now.
right. Not ridiculously much more, but more. The two of you are going to try to swim back for where you came from?
Mhm.
Okay, so you'll be swimming against this 20-foot current. I'm going to give you a 30-foot swimming speed with dashing. 'Cause I'm pretty sure it's half. Am I incorrect in that?
You know, you can swim half your speed.
Okay, so you're 30 feet per round if you're going just swimming, which is what you're doing. So you're going to be moving 10 feet per round to get back. So at this point, you've probably already wasted a minute or so of your air, and so it's going to take about almost to the end of your 3 minutes to get back out.
Okay.
So you start to swim against the current, pushing through this darkness. Carlos, you can't see anything. You are completely blind to being led by Solus, who is trying to both swim and guide you out from underneath this, underwater river through these caverns.
Does
And
the
you are
ink hit someone's head?
not yet. Yeah, Cargus gets knocked out.
It's not that heavy, is it?
And as you go,
falls back.
and you're swimming through, it almost feels like you're not making any progress because even with 30 feet, you can't really see where you're going. All you know is you're swimming against the current, and you're swimming against the roof of this cavern until you finally get to a point where you start to see that the cavern expands up, and you are able to slowly, agonizingly swim out of the current. And as you do, in front of you, you do see the inkwell and the end of this rope that has slowly meandered its way towards the end of the cavern and follow the exterior of the current. The rope is there.
Tug tug.
Okay, so you grab the rope, and as you do, are you gonna completely stop swimming and grab on the rope?
No, I'm just letting him know we're on our way up.
Okay, so as you tug on it, I mean, it's just there's slack still, and it gets you're just kind of pulling the rest of the slack because it's only traveled about 20 feet under. It's 50 feet of rope, so it's 30 feet of slack at the moment. And you start pulling slack while you're swimming. It helps speed it up, and eventually, probably about 20 seconds of that, you do finally feel a slight tug at the bottom of the rope. So you guys are now swimming up towards the surface. You do make it out of that current, and you make it into the main part of the cavern, but you're still a solid, like 30 seconds or so, maybe 20 seconds or so from making it back to the surface, and you can feel your lungs burning. As you have no oxygen left. Your body is just fighting itself. You can feel your vision darkening even with the already dark waters. And all you want to do is breathe. It would be so easy to open your mouth and just inhale. It's all you need. Water or no water would be better than this. The void in your chest. And you're fighting the urge, praying to Eldith to guide you out of this circumstance, and you're trying your best. You're doing what you can. Solus, you're pushing forward harder than you ever had to push before as you face the imminent drowning threat that is currently surrounding you, this underwater grave that is slowly consuming the both of you. As you start to make your way up into the tunnel towards the last 20 feet up towards Mike's or Anders' feet, your vision starts to darken. You start to lose vision, lose focus as you start to go unconscious, but you're able to grab onto that rope and at the last second pull yourself up over the surface.
Both of us? Or
No,
Solus?
there's not enough room for both of you. All three of you can't fit in the bottom of this well.
I'll take a deep breath
Ender
and dive
drops, allowing room for both of you to submerge.
I guess I'm going to kill you when we're out of this well. I don't know. Catch a bit of breath. I'm trying to hang on to, I guess, the side of the well.
Okay. The rope still dangles. What are you doing down there?
Drowning, you idiot!
Grab the rope!
I'm grabbing the rope so I can at least evacuate the well.
So I need you to roll me in athletics.
15.
You are able to slowly trudge your way up the rope to the top. What are you laughing for? To the top of the to the top of the well, and pull yourself over the side, soaked, just damp. Your clothes are heavy. Your backpack is just spewing water out of the sides. Like it looks like, you pull a boot out of the ocean, and it's just filled with water. And you dump it over that. You are that boot right now. There's just water pouring out of every orifice it can as you slowly just flop yourself over the side and onto the ground, barely making it up. And are you able to emerge? Who's next?
I am getting the fuck out of this fucking well. I'm grabbing that motherfucking rope.
How ironic.
And getting out of here.
I worship the god the lake. She provides me.
Oh, I'm also starting to slowly pull my rope back out because that ink is worth a lot of money.
Right. It takes you a couple minutes while Carcass is going to attempt to climb. Roll with advantage. How long does bull strength last? It's not just a minute, right? It's like 10 or an hour.
It lasts, I think, an hour. Let
Okay.
me see. Yeah, it's an hour.
Okay, cool.
As long as I'm concentrating on it. Yes. He does it. He also got
17.
It's like a 10. It's like he does it.
God.
he rolled a 2.
You finally, one hand over the other, not relying on the wall, you put the rope between your feet and start to shimmy up the dry rope itself, only soaked with the water coming off of Solus, and you shimmy up this rope up the well, and you finally breach the top. Put your arm over and pull yourself over. Hanging off the side, you have to have help to get over the edge as two men come up and grab you by the shirt, the collar, and just drag you over the side onto your stomach. And as you land, you probably spit out some water from the last bit of that. Finally on dry land.
I'm laying on the ground and I take a second to catch my breath and I roll over on my back and I'm just staring at the sky.
I'm gonna jump on his chest. You almost killed us!
And what are you doing?
I'm tying that rope around my waist.
All right. So you got your rope back and your inkwell. Both are still unharmed. Yes.
And then I'm tying the top rope around my waist and I kind of like tug it.
Roll me a survival.
That is important.
Just in case it comes into play.
3.
Okay, good to know.
Rip
So
inkwell.
you go to tie this rope around your chest, and you loop it, you tie it around yourself, you pull it pretty taut, and you start to ascend. Now roll me an athletics.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't gonna try to climb. I was gonna have the men up there pull me. He's a lot stronger than me. I'd rather him pull me out.
Okay, so you're holding onto the rope though, right?
Yes.
Roll me an athletics. That knot is not going to support you.
Gotcha. 7. Oh yeah. 16 actually with my minus 2 strength.
As you start to allow some weight onto the knot, it just completely unfurls. As your knot just kind of flips off, but you manage, through adrenaline and fear, to hold on as some of the stronger men up there start to pull you up. Carcass still on the ground and being attacked by Solus. You start to get dragged up over the side, and you just as you get over the top, you kind of slinky over it as they pull you, just allowing them to pull you by force over the side.
God, I like my ass!
Until you,
Solid grab.
yeah, underneath everything. And the three of you now make it onto the gravel, surrounded by this mob of people with torches and pitchforks and stuff who have been helping you out of the well, just soaking the mud, or the once dirt around you to be mud, the gravel digging into your sides, but on dry land.
Thank God.
And you see me almost choking out Carcass.
Yes,
God, I like my ass! How dare you almost kill us! And you accepted it! I saw you just sitting down in the well! You almost left me alone! I didn't want to be alone, Carcass!
I'm just in shock. I
You're about to make yourself drown!
Pull out my lizard that's now thoroughly soaked. I give it a good, and then I like heat myself, and I blow a little bit on each of you as well with
It is dry.
prestidigitation.
Yeah, it dries. It dries all three of your bodies.
I jump off of you after needing to catch a breath.
Roll me a perception.
11. No, actually, 12.
The man who originally sicked the mob on you is in this crowd. And has not recognized you just yet, but with your frantic yelling and screaming, it's very close to being the exact same situation you were in. Probably not 30 minutes or 20 minutes ago, or not even.
I'm still going to catch my breath. I'm laying on the ground.
As he pushes his way out of the crowd. It's them, it's the loyalists! We shouldn't have saved them, we should have let them drown. And the men turn.
I'm going to retort this. I'm going to get up. I never said anything about being loyal to anybody! I'm a Jew, for crying out loud! You think I care about any of that stupid politics? I just care about people getting hurt or not, and you lunatics are trying to kill people!
Roll me a persuasion. It's going to be kind of high because it is an angry mob mentality crowd, but it's not impossible.
Pretty good.
Was that?
What'd you roll?
A 4.
0 charisma. We have 0 charisma.
All right, so this party is just doomed to die, I guess.
Yeah.
As Solus yells this back, it doesn't seem to be taken in the best light. It's almost as if the mob doesn't like being yelled at and accused of things, as they rear up their pitchforks and their torches. Let's toss them back down. Let them drown where they were. We'll close the lid. And they're going to approach. All three of you.
I'm going to yell out, that being said, I'm not afraid of defending myself, and I'm going to spike growth right in front of us.
Ooh, okay. Okay. And, like, where they are?
Yeah,
Okay.
they can walk through that. They can eat that.
Spike growth. 2d4. Every
Per
5 feet they travel. Okay. Roll me 2d4 as they start to approach, not realizing what they've stepped into.
7.
As these spikes jettison out of the ground and start to like lash at the people, it starts to cause these large gashes, deep wounds in many of them. Some being pulled to the ground and strangled, and some do fall dead as 7 points of damage to villagers. You are lashing through this mob and killing them left and right. Now, a number do survive and are stuck in this spike growth, but a number do fall as well. Some of the older and younger people within the crowd.
Let that be a lesson to people who encourage bloodshed.
I told you he's a loyalist. He's killing us all.
Do you not hear yourself? Do you not hear yourself?
And get the guard. And a number of the ones in the back are starting to go and get more. From across the thorns, pitchforks being chucked and torches being thrown. What are the three of you doing as you're being attacked?
Your bowstring's gone, by the way.
No. These townspeople are being mowed down in front of you. There are some that would be considered not adults yet, and there are some that would be, elderly, and plenty of middle, mothers and family members. I mean, this is just the townspeople in a rage that are being mowed down.
Carcass is laying on the ground, and he, from the hearing like the spike growth, go off and hearing
Screams.
the screams, whatever. He sits up and quickly, gets to his feet with all the strength that he can muster, and and this is kind of one of the first times where Cargus actually raises his voice to a booming level, not like thaumaturgy like level, but like spells, but like um it's a moment where Cargus doesn't he keeps a soft demeanor, and he gets up, lifts his chest. Stop this, everyone! Please stop killing each other. Looking towards Solace, and then looking towards the crowd.
Roll my persuasion.
Fantastic.
Or no, intimidation actually.
Okay, sorry.
Make it an intimidation. Unless you'd like to make it more of an appeal.
I think I'm gonna make it more intimidation.
Okay.
Nice. That's pretty good.
6.
Hunter, why didn't you just stop? I'm like, oh, finally.
We're not
At
gonna
this
go.
point, I probably should just stop talking. We should just shut up.
Your words are unheeded. The people in a frenzy, scared, some crying, running for their lives, others brandishing weapons that are more than just pitchforks, spears and swords, and some pulling out hunting bows, from their own homes and things like that, weapons of self-defense, and some maybe enlisted as well. Some of the gruffer characters in the group. And they're going on the offensive. They're going to circle around the brambles, and they're going to try to engage with the three of you. Are you going to stand and fight? Are you running? Are you going to try to appeal to them? What is your move? And we will find out next time we play. That's where we're going to end this session.
Fucking well.
Hot.
Fucking well.